join us at the free Ag PhD September 15th Field Day on the Hefty Farm near Baltic, South Dakota. You'll see a live tiling demonstration including the installation of a lift station, weather permitting. There will be a tile design class and strip till demos too. For complete details and to register, go to agphd.com.
Every once in a while, the situation presents itself to talk about something at the perfect time. And here as I move Brian out into the tall grass and I stand in a nice wheel track where the grass is all kind of matted down, it's a great time to talk about that heavy dew, Brian, and why your pant legs are going to get wet to the knees.
Well, when it comes to dew, it can be a major problem for farmers, not just because our shoes or our pants are going to get wet going out early in the morning, but it has to do with spraying. And when you think about herbicide spraying for farmers, one of the most important things they're trying to do is reduce the amount of drift. They want to spray a product and keep it in their field. So the wind has to be relatively calm. Well, when is the wind relatively calm? How about early in the morning? Well, early in the morning, that's when you run into dew. Let's talk about the problem that causes.
Well, not just early in the morning, but late in the evening too. When that dew sets in, that's a great time to spray when you get after supper time and the wind kind of calms down, everything works out nice, but dew is a consideration again.
So anyway, the reason why this dew is a problem is it's water that's on the plant. And you might not realize it, but in some cases, it might be thousands and thousands of gallons of water on a per acre basis. So in effect, it can dilute the concentration of the herbicide or whatever product you're spraying. And all of a sudden, where you think it should work, now the product just doesn't work. And you say, oh, this product is terrible. It doesn't work at all. Well, it's not really the fault of the product, it's the fault of the applicator and when he sprayed.
Well, here's the other side of that is, let's say the dew's already on the plants, like right away in the morning, like this morning, for example. If you're gonna spray out in this grassy area here to try and control weeds, well, you spray some water droplets out with that herbicide in it. They land on leaves that are already filled with water, and now there's too much water for that leaf to hold, and everything just runs off. And then your spray ends up on the ground and it doesn't kill the weeds that you'd like to kill.
So anyway, with dew, what farmers try to do is pay attention to when that dew is coming off the plant and wait until the dew is just about off the plant to go ahead and spray. Later on in the evening, sometimes they're forced to spray because they had no other time during the day. The wind finally calms down, but then they have to realize that they may not have the perfect control that they would normally get if they were spraying in the middle of the day without a dew. So it's one of those things. We don't live in a perfect world. The farmer just has to weigh out, do I want to spray with dew and the wind is calm, or do I want to spray maybe during the day when there's no dew, but maybe the rest of the weather conditions aren't perfect?
Well, dew is a real nice thing to have, and as you move around in the Corn Belt in this country, or you move from country to country, you see how valuable it is. When you get to areas that are very arid and dry air, they don't have a whole lot of dew. So if you're in one of those areas, you may say, well, wait a minute, what is this dew that you're talking about? We don't get that very often. Well, it's a nice thing for crops. It's nice for them to get that moisture, but by the same token, it does present challenges for farmers.
Yeah, and that challenge comes in having great weed control, and it's really a problem if you've got our Weed of the Week. We'll tell you how to control this week's weed coming up later in the show.